everyone. Good day, and welcome back to the Astral Tourist. So I have some announcements and some sharings about my previous astral projections in Australia and New Zealand. So first, the announcement. I will be traveling for a lot of July, and guess where I'm going? Australia, finally. I've been wanting to go my whole life. I finally have an opportunity. My life partner has 2 work conferences in a row to go to. So we will be spending most of July in Australia. This will be my first time there physically, but not astrally. Also, I will be bringing an updated tablet that I now have, which I'm really excited about, and my handy travel mic. So just be aware that it might take me some time to get back to you if you message me. I'm not ignoring anyone. And in fact, if I haven't responded to you previously, go ahead and message me again. I don't purposely ignore people at all or anything. I just get really busy sometimes, or I'm traveling, and I do lose track of things once in a while. But anyway, I will have my updated tablet, which should work fine for sharing podcasts, and the handy travel mic, which isn't quite as good quality, but people have said that it's okay. It's better than okay, even, just not quite as good as this one, I guess. So I'm really excited about all of this, and I want to bring you all with me to Australia. Yay! It won't be like South Africa at all, I don't think, in any way, but who knows? There are synchronicities everywhere around the world, right? So I'm really curious how my physical visit will compare to my previous astral projections. Now, I have not been to Australia in the astral realm in many, many years. So now we're gonna go back in time a little bit to my 20s, when I had moved out to California. These are my California days. Right now I live on the East Coast of the U.S., but in my 20s I had moved out to California, and I would often use commands like going somewhere with light because I couldn't see very well. I'm not sure that I really had worked out that it helps to get further away from your physical body to be able to see yet. I mean, I already knew kind of that everything got better in the backyard. My mind was there. Like, if I can get to the backyard, I can see. So, but it would be dark, and maybe because it was nighttime. And also I knew, like, the further I got away, the better. It does seem to help me last longer if I'm even further away. At least that's what I was thinking at the time. So I don't know how much of that was in my head or just how it works. Like, I know getting further away from the physical body is an actual thing. But I'm not sure how far you actually have to get. I mean, my backyard was good enough most of the time back then. But now that I'm older, I actually find it's better to go like a city away or something. No worries, though. You don't have to go a whole country or 3. So I'm all over the place and scattered today because I'm packing and everything. I leave tomorrow. But in my 20s, oh my gosh, I wanted to get somewhere with sunlight where I could last a while. I hadn't put it together yet that also asking to go into the future was useful. So there's another tip for you that I actually learned from Astral Club. If you go to the future, it helps a lot to stay there a bit longer. But I hadn't worked that out yet. When he said that at first, I put it together like, oh yeah, when I've been in future timelines, I have been there longer. And so it all just clicked for me when I heard that on one of his episodes. So anyway, I was just trying to get somewhere with sunlight back then, somewhere I could see with really good lighting, and eventually I learned to ask that people be there too. And I would end up in Australia or New Zealand. Now, how do I know this? Because even back then I would ask questions, and I was learning to differentiate. I wasn't really still learning to differentiate between my dreams and my astral projections, but like there was a fine line between the two sometimes, because I've learned since that you can be having a dream while you're astral projecting. So I was still sorting that part of it out. So I would be asking a lot of questions because I knew how my own mind would answer me, but I wanted to see how others would answer me in the astral. And that's one of the ways you can tell where you are. People in the astral act individually. They are not your own mind. They will not respond the same way at all. So there's another tip just loaded in there for you. So I would be asking where I was. I would get place names. I would wake up and look them up. And they would always be either in Australia or New Zealand. And there was this one park in particular, I would end up in New Zealand for a while, that had this particular statue. I wish I could remember the details anymore, but I know I got chatting years ago with someone online who told me that that statue was in a park that they knew about. But statues in parks, they also said, are very, very common. So they were pretty sure, though. They were sending me pictures, and I was going, oh, yeah, that's that one. And they told me the park, and I can't remember the name of it anymore. And other times it would be Australia, and it was mainly at this game reserve. And I remember this one time I loved looking down at the animals and everything, and I got focused too much on the ground, and I landed on the ground, and I kind of was getting sucked into the ground. So here is another tip for people that are getting stuck in the astral ground. Now, usually it's not an issue, but in some places in the astral it is. And so because I was focused on the ground being the ground, I wasn't able to get back up out of there very easily. But you can also transform yourself. So you just have to think about being light or being wet, and you're lighter fluid, and you float up to the top of the murk, like if it's a murky ground or something. Now this is just for planet Earth, of course, and other planets, gravity's very different sometimes. So yeah, change your elemental, which just takes practice. I know beginners won't be able to do this very easily. You can become mist, like particles in the murk and the mire, and just kind of drift out. Stuff like that. Be creative. And if you're having trouble with one spot in particular that you like to revisit, that's a really good tip for you, because you can do meditations and think, how can I change this up, and do some different shape-shifting stuff, and include the weight and the gravity and calculate for all of that. Not that there really is a lot in the astral, but different areas have different rules, so it's best to just, practice. What else can I say? And one of my favorite memories is actually in New Zealand, which I will not be going to. And there was this wonderful crystal shop with these wonderful ladies. I would go there over and over and over again, almost every night sometimes back then. And this one would keep surprising me, showing how the crystals could change. And this is one of my first introductions to astral malls kind of stuff, I think. Before that, I'd just been having a lot of dream/astral projections about high school and college, and sometimes I'd be teaching a class, sometimes I'd be in a class and getting lost and all of that. But this was very different, and she would show me how, if somebody gives you a crystal for trade in the astral and suddenly it changes, it's okay. You can, just go with the flow. And sometimes they change into a necklace or a ring, or, it's like the surprise stuff, these surprise goodies in these malls in the astral. And in this case, it was just a shop. But wow, these ladies in there took time with me. They would talk to me about my life. And later on, I was also talking to someone else online again about this, and they thought it was near a church in New Zealand, and I can't remember the name of it right now without going back through my journals and stuff. But I found this church. I'm not saying that these ladies exist now. I don't know if they were passed on souls or real physical people astral projecting. Well, they were real, whoever they were, but wow. I was just like at the time going, wow, I have friends in New Zealand at this church, and wow, wow, wow. Australians in the Astral and New Zealanders in the Astral have, in the past been very, very friendly to me. So I'm really curious how it will compare in my physical trip here. Also, times have changed. I'm like over 50 now, so who knows what I will find? I don't know. So one more layer to this whole thing. My late husband had never been to Australia or New Zealand in his life. He did not like to travel at all. I mean, the furthest I remember getting him was Las Vegas for a Vegas trip, which was work-related at the time. But soon after he passed, it wasn't like the first or the second time I saw him in the Astral, but soon after that, he showed me about a past life with telepathy and imagery and stuff, how we were on a farm in Australia, not New Zealand. And he introduced me to our daughter. So this is a daughter from a past life. She was really tall, had dark black hair, really short. And I didn't really recognize her, I have to say. And, I did not recognize her at all, but she seemed really excited to see me. And he just wanted me to know that we had time in Australia on this farm. And she had something to do that. And she was wicked clairvoyant. Oh my gosh, not wicked, but like really talented clairvoyant. And she was actually helping him contact me at that time in the Astral. And so I could recognize some of the clairvoyance, and she had these super green eyes. I don't know, they seemed foreign a bit, but also familiar. It was just really strange, and I got tingles and everything, and I was just, wow, all over the place about that. I did not get a picture of what I used to look like, so I don't know if I had the dark hair and used to be tall and skinny like that, because I'm sure not anymore. Oh my gosh. And I did not get a picture of what he used to look like back then either. It was the place. He was focusing on the place, showing me the building, showing me the farm, showing me like this desolate area out in the distance. I mean, I don't know. I was talking to someone today about how Central Australia is pretty barren and desolate. So I don't know. Maybe we were out on the fringes back then in this whole other life. Maybe. Also, the moon is waxing now. Now, in the past, I've been getting to the full moon songs a bit late or just barely on time. So I've been working ahead on a thunder full moon song. For July, I hope to post it soon. Of course, in Australia, they're in midwinter now. So I was looking up things that they do, and the elders wrote one of these wonderful moon songs. I didn't feel like I should go that direction because the elders there do that. So I'm sticking with my own moon song idea. And the interesting thing is that they have storms in the region of Australia that I will be in. I mean, talk about synchronicity. So the Thunder Full Moon song really relates to both parts of the world. Now, I'm in the northeastern United States, and I will be in the Perth area. So the song will not have Australian references. I was really tempted, but when I looked up about the culture and everything, the elders do those songs, so I'm respecting that by just, doing my own song and not trying to integrate cultures or anything. They have their own stuff that they do, and I want to honor that. One of the places I will try to astral project to, which is not on our to-do list or tourist list or anything, is Uluru, of course. It was too difficult to try and do that. We have not planned that in the physical, but I will be closer to it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what may come with that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share if this has been in any way helpful to you. I don't like to ask like that, but I've been reading that it's helpful to remind people. I don't think my regulars need reminding. When I come back from Australia, I want to try and set up like a more private group for a group where we can just talk about stuff, and I don't have to say please subscribe and all that stuff. So thank you so much. I love you all with universal love, Reiki, energy healing, angelics, Pleiadians. I'm very eclectic, as my long-time listeners know. I just encompass and project universal love all the way around. Around and around, and love, and just bring it on in, pure and clean. Thank you so much again. More love, more love, more love. And please do make comments and tell me what you would like to hear, because otherwise I don't know. I'm not going to just make something up. Those that have been with me know that I will not do that. But I can tailor what I'm sharing. If you need more how-tos or more of my personal experiences, or just for me to be there for you and send energy, stuff like that is what I'm really desperate to know. Please tell me what I can do. I will put it out there for you if I can. And for the Bennington folks, I am still going to Bennington. Well, I have been. I won't be able to, I don't think, for July that much. And it's been empty still. The sharings I've had for Bennington are what they are. You can always go back and listen to those if you don't know what I'm talking about. But the Bennington Triangle. So often there's just nothing there. It's a visitor center, like an Astral hub, that just gets used, I guess, once in a while. I appreciate and love you all. I get really lovey-dovey before trips, too. So one more thing to know about me. I'm getting ready to interact with the whole world on planes and stuff. I counteract the stress with love.